Hello, my name is Logan Zimecki, and I will be doing a tribute speech about Steve Irwin. Have you ever had an unsettling encounter with animals or wildlife? I've seen many instances where people spot a spider on the wall and they are immediately terrified of the thing that is smaller than the size of a penny. Other instances are when some people see a snake in their yard, they go to grab a shovel to get rid of that animal. However, there was one man who was able to set aside the fear factor of these animals and only see the beauty in them. This man was none other than the late Steve Irwin. Steve Irwin, who was from Australia, is known and recognized as one of the most iconic wildlife conservationists, as well as his amazing ability to say the word crocky so well. I've watched his television reruns since I can remember, and they've taught me to love and appreciate all wildlife. They've taught me to respect all wildlife as well as all of my natural surroundings. Steve Irwin had a rare quality in which he dedicated his entire life towards conserving species and their ecosystems. He emphasized that we were all connected as living things and that we needed to protect biodiversity for future generations. He believed that conserving wildlife was not only crucial for the sake of the animals themselves, but also because they created healthier ecosystems. These healthier ecosystems in turn would benefit people in various ways, such as providing clean air and water, regulating climate, as well as supporting tourism and agriculture. Steve's love for wildlife and conservation sprung from his father's love of herpetology, which is the study of reptiles, as well as the fact that his mother was a wildlife rehabilitator. His mother and his father were able to save many animals, and the ones that weren't able to go back into the wild, they kept, and then to support those animals, they started a zoo in which Steve Irwin grew up with. These various species that Steve Irwin hung around was, he especially loved crocodiles, and he hung out with those at a very young age. Steve Irwin got a show in the early 1990s, as well as many documentaries and other shows that supported his ideology of conserving wildlife and the world's ecosystems. His viewership amassed to over 500 million viewers, and he did this by just teaching people how animals were so good for the environment, and that just made people less scared of these animals. He lived inside of the zoo that his parents started up until his passing. This zoo is known as Australia Zoo. It has a wildlife hospital attached to it, so it takes care of the animals that are inside of the zoo, as well as people can take animals that they find in the wild that are injured, and they get to rehabilitate them at the zoo. This zoo also works with many conservation programs. Steve Irwin started a charity in 2002 called the Wildlife Warrior Foundation. This foundation dedicates its resources towards wildlife conservation. After Steve Irwin's passing in 2006, a wildlife reserve was established in 2007 in his commemoration. This reserve is known as the Steve Irwin Wildlife Reserve. It has 330,000 acres of protected land that houses 35 diverse ecosystems. In addition to his wildlife reserve, his foundation has managed to protect an additional 120,000 acres of precious ecosystems throughout Queensland, Australia. His conservation efforts through his foundation as well as his zoo have been able to save over 100,000 different animals and species, and his foundation continues today, as well as his zoo, honoring and continuing his life's work. When Steve Irwin passed away, the world lost a wonderful human being, but what he has done and left behind for the world was and still is truly marvelous. Thank you.